Hello, everyone. I can see the numbers are creeping up, so thank you for joining us. We always wait a couple of minutes to give everyone a chance to get online and get comfortable. So there's a few things for you to read on screen. While you're waiting, get relaxed, mute yourself, your camera's off, make sure you can hear me and test your speakers. We'd love for you to say hi in the chat. We'd love to know where you're joining us from today and what you're hoping to get out of today's session. Love your Microsoft Teams meetings. And if you haven't already, do grab yourself a drink.
Got my water ready.
Yep.
If it's there, it's going to happen. There we go.
Numbers are still steadily going up. So as always, we're going to give everyone a minute or two to just log in and settle in. Lee has kicked us off in the chat. Good afternoon. Please do add to the chat. We'd love to know where you're logging in from today and what you're hoping to get out of today's session. I'm logging in from East London.
And I'm in Brighton. Well, Port Slade, actually. Do you know what we say down here, Dee? So Brighton is called Brighton and Hove, the city of Brighton and Hove. So if you live in Hove, you say, I live in Brighton. Well, Hove actually, like the Love Actually film. So that's the little joke. And if you live in Port Slade, which is also within the city of Brighton and Hove, you say, well, Port Slade really, because it's not as cool. So just a little Brighton and Hove joke there for everyone.
I'm sure it is just as cool.
It's getting there slowly. Oh, quite a few people from Bristol. Hello. Oh, Lindsay from Brighton Hove as well. Hopefully she'll appreciate the joke.
We'll give it another 10 seconds and then we will make a start.
From a canoe in Exeter. Is that a joke, Richard? Or are you actually in a canoe? Ah, Yolandi can't hear us talk. When they go to settings and test speaker, they hear a sound. Any tips on how to fix the sound? Oh, that's strange, isn't it?
Yeah.
That sounds like your mic is on, but not your speakers. Is that right? Richard's, yeah, it's been rather wet. Okay, I get it. Yes, it has been, hasn't it? Hello from Romania. Very cool. Hi, Theodora.
Had Singapore and Canada as well.
Hello, Niagara. Another tip, is there a join audio button in the bottom left corner of the screen? Thanks, Amadi.
Okay. All right, brilliant. We are going to make a start. So thank you so much for joining us today. We're really excited to have you in our February Skills Booster session. So this is a space for you to prioritize your own learning, but also a window into Think Productive. So if you've not worked with us before, it gives you an opportunity to get to know us a little better and experience firsthand what we do. So a few rules of the road if you're new here. So today's session will last approximately 40 minutes. We keep the first 30 minutes usually for content and then try to save 10 minutes at the end for any questions. Doesn't always work like that. Sometimes the questions kind of come up during, that's fine as well. If we don't manage to answer all your questions, we either try to answer them in our newsletter or through our LinkedIn as well. So do make sure you subscribe. If you do have any questions today, you can use the Q&A button, but try and keep your questions not technical. If I mention a feature today that you don't appear to have, it might be that your admin person has turned that feature off. So definitely better to take any of those technical questions to your admin person. But yeah, any questions on the psychology of Microsoft meetings, please do put those in the Q&A section and we'll do our best to get to them. I've got Elena with me today. My name's Dee. Elena is going to be monitoring the chat. So any resources you'd like her to send your way or any hyperlinks to things that I mention, Elena will be there for you. So you can message her directly or just post something in the chat. So let's get stuck in. Today, we're going to be mastering Microsoft Teams meetings. So I'd love to just start off by asking you a question. I'd love to ask you to put in the chat either a short phrase or even an emoji if you don't want to use a whole phrase. I'd like to know how you feel about Teams meetings, virtual meetings, specifically using Teams. So a short phrase that kind of sums up your feelings or an emoji that captures how you feel. And I'll give you a few seconds to head to the chat and let us know. So I can see so many different, I can see emojis of people covering their face. I can see smiling, and then a real mixture of comments from frustrating, overload, overwhelmed, and tiring to other people saying practical, enjoys them, gets people talking and engaged in debate. So just a real spectrum of different experiences. I wish breakout rooms were faster. Someone else says they're efficient, good and bad. So lots of different experiences. So in half an hour, hopefully you should have some really good tips and tricks, things that you might not have tried before or didn't know you could do in Microsoft Teams. That you can go away and try. I'm just having another look. Yeah, a massive breakthrough in how we work thanks to COVID. Saves us going into the office for a 2-hour meeting. Yeah. So lots of really good and balanced opinions. So thank you so much for sharing. So we're going to just go through some features of Teams meetings, things that are not necessarily in the main, things that don't happen unless you actively turn them on or think about them. And hopefully there'll be some ideas and features that you've not tried before that you're inspired to try. So the first cluster of features are around meeting options. And we're going to begin right at the beginning when you set up your meeting. So when most people create a meeting using Microsoft Teams, they open the new meeting tab and they hit new. But there is a tiny little drop down arrow to the right that has got the orange square around it, and it hides some real gems that you might not know exist. You can do more than just set up a standard meeting. So you can see there, it gives you the option of a webinar, a town hall, or a virtual appointment. So I'm just going to take you through what they are and some of the reasons you might want to try these later on. So let's look first at a webinar. So typically, meetings are collaborative and conversational, but a webinar, on the other hand, are often more structured. Presenters share ideas or provide training, and the attendees can have limited audio and video permissions, a bit like today's webinar is set up. When you hit create a webinar, it sets all this up for you. And it also offers you a registration, custom questions to ask people prior to the webinar, and you can even brand your event with images and colors. And then after the webinar, you can access reports, you can see engagement and see the feedback. So if you're planning a training in your organization and you want it set up as a webinar with kind of limited collaboration where people are listening and learning, a webinar is a really great tool to use. We're going to move on to the next one now, town hall. So a town hall meeting are usually larger online events that let organizations reach a larger audience. They're a way for leaders and presenters to share updates, strategies, or announcements. And usually it's a bit more interactive. So if you set up a town hall, features like Q&A, live polls, chat, all those things are kept on. And you can also include live streaming, pre-recorded content, and depending on your user license, you have capacity to up to 10,000 participants as well. So if you've got a big company-wide meeting, a town hall might be the way to go. It makes communication more accessible. It encourages collaboration, even with a large amount of people. And then the next one is my personal favorite. This is the one I don't think is used as often as it could be. And this is called a virtual appointment. And I like to describe this one like a trip to the dentist. So when you turn up at the dentist for your appointment, usually someone says, okay, take a seat, wait, we'll let the dentist know you're here. And then when it's your turn, you're called in. And that is really what is replicated in a virtual appointment. So when you make an appointment with someone, they get their appointment card emailed to them and they get their link, but they don't need Microsoft Teams installed anywhere. It's an appointment that anyone can use as long as they have access to the internet and they click on the link. And then they get put in a waiting room and they're told, just like at the dentist, we'll let them know you're here, you're in this waiting room, and then you come into the meeting. So it's a really nice way if you're meeting someone externally from outside of your business and you're not sure if they have Microsoft Teams downloaded. This is just a fuss-free, really, I think, sleek and professional way of scheduling an appointment with someone. So really the takeaway for that is it doesn't just have to be a standard Microsoft Teams meeting. So really think about your audience, the purpose of the meeting, and which style of meeting type will suit you best. We're going to move on now to collaboration notes. So Teams now uses collaborative notes powered by Microsoft Loop in every meeting by default, and they auto sync to the meeting invite, and they have lots of good features. Everyone can contribute to the meeting. It auto syncs with Microsoft To Do and Microsoft Planner, and it's available before, during, and after the meeting. So let me show you what this looks like. So when you set up a meeting, you can see right at the bottom, there's an agenda. It's really small and a lot of people don't necessarily see it or notice it. And they put their agenda actually in the box above. But by opening up and clicking on the add an agenda, this opens up for you. And what this is this is your collaborative live agenda where you can put in, you can see here, I've put in 2 items along with the duration and who is leading each session. And I've done that before the meeting. So all the participants of the meeting know what they can expect. They know that we're going to have a check-in and then we're going to spend half an hour reviewing our strategic plan led by Francis. So I've put that in beforehand. Then during a meeting, anyone who's in the meeting, if they click notes at the top, it opens up the agenda that you've pre-made to the right. So you can click on the different things once you've kind of worked your way through each topic. There's also a space for you to add any meeting notes. So if you want to do meeting minutes, you can do them live in the meeting. And then there are follow-up tasks. So you can see here, I've put a follow-up task for myself in the meeting, get a quotation from Zoho, and I've given myself a due date of the 17th of February to do that. And the best part is that any tasks that are allocated to you within those collaborative notes, like this task to get a quotation, will sync to your Microsoft To Do. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. So this is a screenshot of my Microsoft To Do. Microsoft To Do is Microsoft's to-do list for you that is included in any 365 subscription. So here you can see that the task that was assigned to me in the meeting with the orange box around it here, as soon as that task was assigned to me in the meeting, it automatically syncs to my to-do list. So a little side note, if you want to learn more about Microsoft To Do, which is your task list that syncs across Teams, emails, your calendar, planner, OneNote, you might want to explore our Microsoft for Productivity workshop, where you'd learn how to set up your Microsoft To Do and create a routine that means you're on top of all your tasks and you can see everything in one place. So definitely, if you are organizing meetings, if you are the person who sets up meetings for your team, I wouldn't do it without doing an agenda and have a try. Ask everyone to open up their notes and capture their own action points live in the meeting so that no one has to kind of follow up and do all the actions separately afterwards, saving some time. Okay. Oh, and lastly, you can access the meeting notes from outside of the meeting. You don't have to be in the meeting. So if you just click on the meeting on your calendar, it will open up the chance for you to join the meeting, but underneath it, you can see in the orange box, you can just view the agenda and notes as well. So if you want to go back to find those notes that were made during a meeting, you just have to go back and click on the meeting and it's all there for you. Another thing I just wanted to highlight that isn't always known by people who are presenting in virtual meetings is that Teams offers you different presenter modes. So you can see here, they have different options for when you're presenting to others. So standout has the presenter cut out. Side by side is side by side, what it says on the tin. And then you've got the reporter mode where you've got the presenter and a headline banner as well. So it's really easy to set up different presenter modes. You choose your presenter mode that suits you. You make sure your camera is turned on. You select share in meeting controls, and then under presenter mode, you just select the one you want to use. So again, always thinking about the purpose of your meeting, what you're trying to achieve, how you want to engage and interest the people who are on the other side. Okay. Another really good feature that I'm not sure is in the main is noise suppression. And this could be really handy if, like me, sometimes you find yourself working in a cafe or out in public. This is a real lifesaver. So you can set this as your default within the mains team settings, and then you can toggle it on and off as you need. So I've shown here how to do it. You go to team settings, you then want devices, and then you toggle on noise suppression. So this means if you're working out of a cafe or out in public, then it can kind of isolate just your voice, just helping a more professional feel and alleviating some of that fear of, oh my goodness, can everyone hear what's going on in my background? So definitely a really good feature to know about. We've got some really good accessibility features as well. Part of the responsibility of the person creating a meeting is to ensure that everyone can access the meeting in a fair and equal way. And Teams has some features that can really help with this. So the first I wanted to show you is called CART. And that stands for Communication Access Real-Time Translation. And essentially, this is a way of you putting on live captions. And you can see here how you do it within the meeting. You can do it as the meeting organizer, or you can do it as a meeting participant as well. So you go to more, you go to language and speech, you go to live captions, and yeah, you can turn it on. So if you're someone in a meeting who finds that actually it's more useful for you to kind of read and follow along in that way, then this is definitely a feature that could really help you. Another really good feature is the inbuilt interpreter in Teams. So just below where you could see live captions, it's turn on interpreter for me. So if you're in a meeting and the meeting is happening in a language that isn't your first language, you can translate the captions into many languages are offered within Microsoft Teams. And if you're organizing a meeting, it might be something that you flag at the beginning of a meeting, show a kind of screenshot like this if you know you've got people in the meeting where you're presenting in a language that isn't their first language, and they'd appreciate listening to it in a different language. Then this is definitely something that I would recommend flagging at the start of a meeting, or just having this kind of as part of your learning internally. Another really good feature to know about is Teams has lots of shortcuts. So a range of hidden shortcuts. For example, anywhere in Teams, Control N starts a new chat, and Control M for mother moves your focus to the message pane. So from anywhere within Teams, if you hold down Control and then the full stop key, it will open all of the shortcuts available to you. So there's quite literally dozens and dozens of them. Have a scan of them, look at the ones that you think you would use most often, and create yourself a short bespoke menu of shortcuts that you might want to learn. And that this doesn't just work for Teams meetings. This works for anywhere that you're in Teams, and you can open up these shortcuts. So Control, full stop, will show you the menu, and then go shopping, go crazy, get all the shortcuts listed down that you think would be useful for you. Okay, we've got a few more. So these are things you can do within your camera and settings. Teams has some really useful features to adjust your settings. These aren't for everyone. So the key is knowledge, right? So I'm going to show you what you can do within Teams settings in terms of your camera. And for some of you, you'll be absolutely horrified with what I'm going to show you. And you'll say, like, absolutely, that's not for me. And others of you will love this. But knowledge is power, and you don't know what you don't know. So let's dive in and see. So this is a screenshot of me in a meeting with no camera settings on whatsoever. So you can see here the brightness, the focus is toggled off. I don't have any kind of background or blur going on. You can see the radiator behind me. And I wanted to show you the difference of what that looks like if you start toggling on some of these different features. So to access this menu, there's a little arrow at to the right of where it says camera at the top, and then that will open up these settings. So this is the before and after. It's like a makeover show. So that's me. I've then adjusted the brightness. I've put on a soft focus. I think I've got it about 55%. If you put it any more than 55%, I think you start to look really fake. But that's a personal thing. You might like it all the way. And I've blurred the background so you can see that the radiator's disappeared. So I'm going to show you again, before and after. I always have soft focus on a little bit when I'm in Teams. It helps me. As I say, you might not like it. If you don't like this, you're definitely not going to like the next slide. So if you go into, you see there where it says at the bottom under soft focus, more video effects and settings. This is where you can add a filter. And there's a filter called Maybelline, where it essentially puts makeup on you. So I was wearing no makeup at all. It's put some mascara, some blush, some lip gloss on me. Again, I want to show you the before and after. So nothing, soft blur, makeup. Look, for some people, they really like this. Other people don't, but it's nice to know that these features are available if you want to use them.
Other makeup brands are available as well.
Yes, always. I've gone for the bottom left one. The top left one is even softer as well. You don't have the eye flicks. But yeah, it's nice.
Is there a no makeup look?
I think that's the first one.
Yeah, right.
And there are some gentlemen as well there that you might want to click on and have a play around with. But the features are there. Have a play, and it might be something you want to put on.
Sorry, I have to read this comment out, Dee. Lindsay says, I accidentally put that on and my colleague said my eyeliner wasn't moving with my eyeballs.
Oh, I must say, I used to have the subtle one turned on, and I always thought it did quite a good job. But maybe if you go for the really heavy one,
I've never noticed it on you, Dee, so I think it's doing a good job.
Yeah,
the subtle one.
Yeah, there are a few people in the comments that seem to like this idea. But look, I wanted to show it to you, then you know it's there, and you can try it out. So some of you will walk away loving loop agendas, and others of you might walk away going, oh my goodness, I never need to do my makeup at 8 in the morning again.
Okay. Richard wants the clown makeover. Might be appropriate in some cases.
Okay, so I don't think it would be right to have a session on Teams without talking about Copilot. And I wanted to kind of flag some of the things you can do within Teams using Copilot. So Copilot is an AI add-on within Microsoft, and standard Copilot is included in everyone's 365 subscription. Your company or yourself, if you're paying for it yourself, won't need to pay any more to get standard Copilot. And there are lots of things you can do with standard Copilot to help you prepare for your team's meetings. So I'm going to show you some things you can do before a meeting, and also some things you can do after a meeting using standard Copilot. So the first thing you can do is you can use Copilot to prepare your agenda. So you can let Copilot know what the purpose is of your meeting, the goals, the attendance list, the duration, and ask it to generate an agenda for you. So then that can be copied and pasted into the collaborative notes section. You can also, if you're going to have any polls in your meeting, you can ask Copilot to refine or generate questions for your polls. So you can say, have a look at the agenda. I want to do some polls about X, Y, and Z. Can you generate me some wording that I can copy and paste and put into my polls? If obviously this is just a taster, this is a skills booster session, we don't have too long, but if you were to do the full version of this workshop, Mastering Microsoft Teams Meetings, we go into lots of interactive features, and polls is one of them. So that's something you can learn how to do. Polls, whiteboards, breakout rooms, all those things. And the other thing you could ask Copilot to do to help you plan your meeting is prepare talking points or Q&As. So you can, again, feed in the agenda that you've prepared and say, I'd like to prepare some talking points, or can you anticipate some tricky questions that people might ask me based on this agenda and help me prepare some answers in advance? So definitely doing some work pre-meeting. There are also lots of things you can use post-meeting. You can ask Copilot to have a look at your meeting transcription. So you would need to use a tool, a meeting transcription tool, and then copy and paste your meeting transcribe into Copilot, and then you can ask it to summarize transcripts. You can ask it to summarize the key decisions that were made or the next actions that were made. You can also ask Copilot to pull out key points from the meeting transcript for anyone that missed the meeting, or generate a summary for different audiences. So for example, summarize this meeting for the leadership team, or focus on just the strategic decisions that were made. So what's important to note is that anything using standard Copilot is manual. You have to physically give Copilot the transcript, or you have to give it the meeting agenda. It won't be able to kind of go in and find that information for you. But I do want to spend a couple of minutes just going through some of the things you can do if you have Copilot Premium. So Copilot Premium is something that your employer or yourself would pay for over and above what they already pay for your subscription. And I think in the coming years, more and more organizations will invest in this way. So even if you don't have premium Copilot now, I think in years to come, it'll be pretty universal. The main difference here is that when you have the premium Copilot, you don't have to ask Copilot you don't have to provide Copilot with your transcription or your meeting agenda. You can just ask it to go in and find these things. It has access to your calendar, all the meetings you've been in. So if you do have premium, here are some things you can do before the meeting. So firstly, you can ask Copilot to review all the emails or previous meeting transcripts with the team of people who are meeting and suggest an agenda for your next meeting. And it will go into the emails, it will go into your calendar, it will go into all the previous meetings, all the action points from your last meeting, and it will come up with a proposed agenda for you. You can also turn on transcript, and then as soon as you've done that, you can ask it all the same questions that we asked of it in the standard Copilot. The difference is you haven't had to copy and paste the transcription in first. So you can still ask it to summarize the action points, summarize this meeting for anyone who missed the meeting. So there's lots you can do Lots you can do actually with standard, to be honest. It's just a bit more legwork for you. And then post-meeting, you can ask standard Copilot, here's a list of all the decisions made. Can you extract all the decisions separately? Can you cluster them, track them, log them? You can ask it to break down next steps by person. Again, all of these things you can ask of standard Copilot as long as you've given it the transcript. You can ask it, can you read the transcript and tell me the risks, concerns, or blockers raised in this meeting? Can you create a version of this meeting transcript for different audiences? Can you do a draft message to someone who missed the meeting, or a suggested agenda for the next meeting? So there's lots you can try, lots you can ask Copilot to do that hopefully should make your work a little bit easier. So you've seen quite a varied range of different features. I would love to know which of the features you're most excited to try. And I'm just going to give you a minute in the chat to share that. I can see someone has put in the chat that they can't toggle on voice isolation. If you can't toggle it on, it's because someone in the admin of your organization has disabled that. So if that's something you want to use, just ask your admin person, your IT person internally, and say, can they please turn that on? So again, we'd love to know which features are you most excited to try. So we've got loop agenda, virtual appointments. Yeah, someone else mentioned earlier that they thought virtual appointments would be good for an interview. I hadn't thought about that, but actually that feels really neat and tidy. Camera settings, an agenda, presenter modes as well. Someone's put there, look excited to try Copilot helping with the meeting agenda and anticipating questions that might come up as well. I would say that for anyone watching this back on in our Skills Booster Hub, where all our videos are actually available, that you can watch back our entire catalogue of all our skills boosters, but anyone watching there won't have access to the chat. So I'm just going to read some of the main themes that seem to be coming up. The biggie is the collaborative notes, to share the agendas and have colleagues record their own action notes. That's a real game changer. No one has to do meeting minutes, so you're taking away a job for someone for sure. Noise suppression also seems to be really popular. Oh, thanks. Elena's popped in a link to our Skills Booster Hub as well. So
Also, oh, sorry, go on.
I was just going to say this video will be there along with all the others.
I was just going to say, if your organization has, Microsoft Business, M365 Business, then there's inbuilt transcription in your Teams already, so you don't have to use Fathom or any of those apps. Yeah. Also, there was a question earlier from Richard about what the lobby was, like whether it's part of registration. And it's not in Teams, it's not part of registration, it's more like a meeting room, a waiting room.
Yeah.
And I think by default, anyone external to your organization will be placed in the lobby to wait until you let them in. So, perfect for like interviews and that kind of thing. But you can actually change that in the settings, so you can change it so that everyone just bypasses the lobby and comes straight into the meeting, or you can make everyone wait in the lobby, even people from your organization, until you're ready to let them in. And you just change that in the settings.
Brilliant, thank you. So we've only just scratched the surface. We would love to be able to come in and deliver some of our courses for you and your teams. So what you've had a bit of a flavour of today is mastering Microsoft Teams meetings, It's a 2 or 3 hour session, ideally for around 20 people, but we've done it for more and we've done it for less as well. And we go into lots of practical, have a go at this, set up a poll, try this. So it's really human. It's not technical at all. Anyone can follow along. So if you've got people in your organizations who are responsible for making meetings, and you really want to help them make the use of the features to make them more engaging, more interactive, more inclusive, then we'd really love to deliver that for you. Elena is kindly putting the links in the chat as well. But you can always get in touch via email and we can explore kind of your team and your goals in more detail. I also just wanted to flag that we have a public workshop coming up next month, how to be a productivity ninja. And we have a discount code exclusively for people who are watching this skills booster. So if that's something you're interested in, you want to learn how to get clarity over your tasks and just on a day-to-day basis get your best work done, then that's something we can definitely help with. And that's a ticketed event. So 1 or 2 or 3 of you from your organization can book a ticket and join us. And then the last thing I wanted to show you was our Skills Booster Hub. If you're watching online, then you've already found it. Congratulations. But if you're watching this live, you might not know this, that all our recordings are in a filterable hub. So you can filter by language. We're a global organization, so we deliver across the world in different languages. You can filter by territory, you can filter by topic, and you can see all of the Skills Booster sessions that we've had. So we'd really love for you to make use of it and share it in your organizations. It's completely free, and it's our way of spreading what we do and helping as many people as possible. And then this was an opportunity to just make sure that we've answered all your questions. I think we have. I don't think there are any in the Q&A. Are there, Elena?
No, I'll have another look just now, but I have seen a question from Abigail asking, what is the training called for the calendar organizing training?
Okay, so the Microsoft To Do training, where we help you to funnel all your tasks into one place, sync that with your calendar, your emails, your meeting notes, all that kind of thing. It's called Microsoft for Productivity Ninjas. And the first 3 hours really of that session is focused on Microsoft To Do. So some teams just do those 3 hours, and other teams do the full day, where we go into lots of other apps, things like Microsoft Planner, Microsoft Bookings, and just kind of show you how to use them, but in a very human way. And we'd really love you to stay in touch. Yeah, do find me on LinkedIn, please. If you've enjoyed today, do tag me in any comments and things that you leave. We love to hear from people who have tried things. If you do a meeting and you use any of these features, let me know how it goes. We love hearing the impact of what we do. Okay, so that brings our Skills Booster session to a close with 2 minutes to spare as well, which is great. We love being within time. So I will stay on for the last minute or so, just in case there are any burning questions. But if not, thank you very much for coming. And if you're watching this on the recording, nice to see you there too.
Thanks, everyone. And thanks for coming from near and far. There aren't any more questions in the Q&A, just lots of thank yous. Great refresher, much appreciated. Let's all deploy Maybelline mode. Yeah, John saying using Zoom to talk about Teams. I know, right?
All our automations are plugged to Zoom. It's everything from registration to sharing the recording with you. A lot of work has gone into that automation. I don't know eventually if we want to switch, but for now.
Yeah. Yeah, we obviously use Teams all the time for like clients and when we run workshops on Teams and stuff as well.
Almost everyone has left the meeting, so I'm going to end the meeting now. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks, everyone.